Welcome back once again. Ever since Siminalayi Fubara decided to withdraw from the APC gubernatorial race of governorship return come 2027, sincerely speaking, residents, indigenes and supporters of Siminalayi Fubara have frowned towards his decision, but he has given a clearer view of why he has taken that particular decision. So many persons have been stating, is it that the federal might is not with him? Or is it that C0ntest that is not in his political party now has more power than him? Is it that him as a sitting governor cannot use his incumbent power to insist on to get the ticket of the party? Sincerely speaking, as we speak, rumors now have it that Siminalayi Fubara is about contesting through the NDC. It is a rumor, but it is now clear that there is an adage that states there is no smoke without a fire. It simply means that rumors or suspicions usually have some basics in reality, and that is what it is, because I'm going to be showing you. Remember that Siminalayi Fubara's brother picked up the governorship form under the NDC, and look at it, the NDC have not held his own primaries. They just took Peter Obi as a sole candidate for their presidential seat ahead of the general election. As if that is not enough, remember, there had been a visit between Siminalayi Fubara previously. I've been shown before now with Sereke Dixon being the chieftain in NDC. And now, Siminalayi Fubara has just withdrawn from the APC gubernatorial race. He knows fully well that there is a plot to undermine his incumbent governorship power, and he does not want to feel very inferior if he goes out to dig it out with Okechinda and loses out simply because Nyesom Wike and his camp, the coalition of PDP and APC as a rainbow coalition, don't actually want him back to the brick house. The political space is beyond what is happening. The politicking is getting more tighter and more interesting. This time, a lot of supporters of Siminalayi Fubara are asking where is the way forward. Some of them have also agreed with his principle of leaving the gubernatorial race through the APC. Likes of C0ntest has this to say, as you could see on your screen. I'm going to be showing you the twist, the rumors and everything that is actually playing out, so that when you draw the circle very close, you begin to see reasons or thereabout things that are actually happening within the political space in Rivers State. But before I do that, listen attentively to this particular chieftain in Rivers State who came out and made statements regarding what Nyesom Wike is doing in Rivers State, and as well stated it clearly that Nyesom Wike also have faulted those who brought him into power. Watch, and when we come back, we'll continue.
How did this news come to you, and what's your reaction that a sitting governor in the person of Sir Siminalayi Fubara will not be contesting for the governorship elections in Rivers State next year?
Well, I'll start by saying that it wasn't very surprising to me. However, what is most surprising is it's a deeper dive and reflection of what our democracy is turning out to be. The godfatherism and the recklessness of politicians and people that don't have the heart for the people. It's funny that this is happening in my dear state. And unfortunately, the political juggernauts have refused to listen to the voice of the people. The other unfortunate thing is the sitting governor who decided to just back out. And I was really reflecting this morning on his decision to back out. And I see someone that is trying to avoid a booby trap, a political booby trap. They've set up all the machineries to disgrace him, make sure that the system capture that the Honorable Minister have succeeded in creating in Rivers State would have rigged him out. So I think he made a strategic decision and a strategic move to pull out instead of going to the kangaroo polls and be disgraced. And so it's just unfortunate. And what this pertains to 2027 will be a conversation that we will have on your program, because unfortunately, I stand here to say, or I sit here to say that the president didn't do well. He's actually responsible for this. And this is a slap on the Rivers people and a strategic move to thwart the will of the people. there had been relatively peace in Rivers State. And if there was no peace, it's because the camp of WIKE and the sitting members of the assembly, you made life miserable for Rivers people. You did. They did. So to say that, WIKE was grateful to all these people, tell me, my brother, which of them is he talking to today? He's a staunch enemy of Odili. He's not in talking terms. He's not in talking terms with Jonathan and his wife. He's not in talking terms with Amechi. These are the people that paved the way for him to emerge. And none of them that today he is talking to, they don't see eye to eye. So is that somebody who was grateful? But let's not go there. You see, in relationship, you don't burn bridges, and he has burnt his own bridges and even want to increase the sea so that nobody can build bridge across it. So what happened? What does this portend going forward? It's a destruction of democracy.
Come back once again. I believe you've listened attentively to this particular chieftain who had made it clear that C0ntest also has issues with those persons who brought him back into office, or those persons who handpicked him just the same way he has claimed he handpicked Siminalayi Fubara. On the part of supporters, indigenes and residents of Rivers State, they may not like the decision taken by Siminalayi Fubara, but the plot and the politicking is becoming more intense. This is a rumor that is flying around the social media space, but we have often and always stated it. Whenever rumors like this fly out, you begin to see, clear or simple little truth beneath the scene, because this is politics. It is a game of interest. Now, as you could see on your screen, according to Chibueze Nzeribe, he stated, in the real sense of it, Siminalayi Fubara bows out. Fubara remains on the ballot. And so many persons are asking, what must have led to this particular statement? He stated, I am yet to know what the twist is, but Fubara might be in the ballot. How? As it has been announced that Siminalayi Fubara steps aside, the race is far from over. There is another Fubara that have secured NDC nomination form to run for the Rivers governorship election. Many are suggesting he is a placeholder to his younger brother, the current governor. Here is Mr. Blessing Fubara. He is a young, determined and respectable entrepreneur who has presented himself as an aspirant and choosing to defy the odds by aspiring for the governorship of Rivers State under the NDC platform. His ambition is not yet personal. It is referred as a wave of continuity, courage, and a bold statement that leadership can remain in furtherance within a vision that many believe in. As a Rivers vote who is passionate about the direction of Rivers State politics and thinks the legacy continuity at the Brick House Port Harcourt, then this should be the epic fight of 2027. As the blood brother of Siminalayi Fubara, should NDC give him an automatic ticket? Time will tell, but note, the ticket is open and you can engage the Fubaras at the primary election. I wish Sim Fubara is ready to burn the bridges now. This, as you could see the pictorial view of Siminalayi Fubara and the brother, the question a lot of persons are asking is, how come Siminalayi Fubara brother just surfaced after Siminalayi Fubara withdrew from APC gubernatorial race, primaries? How come the brother picked a form from the NDC? What is actually playing out? Because when you look at it originally, you understand there is a politicking happening beneath the scene. Sincerely, this is exactly what is happening, and so many persons are waiting to see the final thing that will be happening within the political space in Rivers State. On the other hand, other persons have reacted that Siminalayi Fubara is becoming weaker, because at this time, during the time of the trajectory of political space in Rivers State and otherwise, likes of Obaseki was a sitting governor under the same APC. He dared Oshomole, who was the party stake leader, defeated him to, defected to PDP and still won his re-election. Look at Ganduje in Kano State. He was a sitting governor, also dared Kwankwaso, the man who brought him into political limelight. Likewise, the current governor of Kano State, as we speak, being Abba Yusuf, who was once a mere civil servant at the Water Corporation and was politically elevated by Kwankwaso from ground zero, is now standing independently of him. When you drive down to Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, as a sitting governor under the PDP, dared Peter Odele and still secured his re-election in Rivers State. The same WIKE once served as chief of staff to Rotimi Amaechi in 2007. Amaechi later recommended him to Goodluck Ebele Jonathan for a ministerial role, after which Patient Jonathan took interest in him and supported his emergence as governor of Rivers State, then dared Amaechi and still won his re-election. So the political space in Rivers State have been known to dare their predecessors and their appointers. As the chief security officer of the state, you can't just easily use your state apparatus to even do anything other than withdrawing. This is exactly the reactions from a lot of supporters of Siminalayi Fubara. So the political history remembers that leaders who stood their ground, not the ones who stayed in the shadows, and that is exactly what is happening. If Siminalayi Fubara can't dare Nyesom Wike with the whole state force as a sitting governor to bully him out or to probably to do whatever, then he is now termed to be weak. That is what the supporters are actually stating. So this is exactly what is happening. Some other persons are stating, even if the brother decides to hand over the ticket to him of the NDC, what is the fate of his supporters to know strongly that is he capable of standing or withstanding Nyesom Wike's plight and the politicking ahead of time, knowing fully well that the federal might will be against the NDC. Further, this is exactly what is happening. And when you look at the twist of it, you find out that there is also a statement regarding fresh documents showing that Siminalayi Fubara was not even cleared by the APC screening committee. And you begin to, when you draw the circle very close, you begin to understand that there are a lot of things that is going to be unfolding in the nearest future. I'm going to be bringing you all information in this particular channel. This is your first time meeting this channel. Do it often, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and click on the like button so let's get informations promptly when we drop them here. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.